What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I'm joined by my co-host, my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us any closer. One of the best photographers in the world, my brother, Santana. Say something to the people.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all here with us tonight. And for that, we thank you. And we got a jam-packed show for y'all, so we just gonna get right into it. You heard?
Again, we want to thank y'all for tapping in as always every Sunday, every Thursday at 10:30. You already know. Stay locked and loaded. For those of you, it's your first time in. We are a podcast that talk about everything. We talk about hip hop. We talking about today's current events. We talk about sports. We get into every single thing. And of course, we're going to talk about the movies because we love the movies too. We grew up on movies. So we're going to get into that as well. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We just went over 11,000 subscribers. So continue to like, subscribe, share, hit that all notification bell. There's also memberships. Tap into the memberships. There's links in the bio, different access for different memberships. So make sure y'all tap in. Also, quick shout out to some of our day ones in the building. Shout out to Lisa. Shout out to Culture. Shout out to Winter. Shout out to Shay. Shout out to King Prince. He already .com. Button-snaps.com. First segment of the night. Popular Opinions, brought to you by OUV Records. You see it right there. Make sure you go to Instagram at OUV Records and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. A label motto is create, document, and inspire. So make sure you check it out and stay in tune. All right, y'all. First, popular opinion question of the night. Remember, y'all, these are not our questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions, y'all. All right. Which streaming service would put which streaming service would put Diddy's Making a Band season 2 first? Which streaming service would put Diddy's Making a Band season 2 Making a Band season 2 first? Number 1, Prime. Number 2, Tubi. Number 3, Netflix. Number 4, Button Snaps. Let us know what y'all think in the chat. Again, y'all, we build off love, so stay engaged in the chat.
Somehow, some way, Tubi just began all the licensing agreements to everything. So somehow Tubi gonna be the first motherfuckers with that shit. No holds barred, the raw cut, unfootage, no chop, everything fresh, like it was the first day the shit dropped. You know what I'm saying? That's how Tubi get down with their licensing. They just get everything off the cuff. So I'm gonna go with Tubi.
You going with Tubi? Man, I'm gonna have to agree with you, bro. I'm gonna have to agree with you. Tubi just has a knack for getting all the stuff that you've been thinking about. You like, man, I haven't seen such and such this show or this movie in a minute. And that was a good time. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here come Tubi thinking about that same show or movie that you was thinking about, and they have it for you for next to nothing. So, Tubi just have a knack for getting all the old school shows or just shows in general, and it's just right there. Like, yo, you welcome, G. You know what I'm saying? Thank us later. But you know what I'm saying? You got 30 days to go crazy. So I'm going with Tubi as well. My brother went with Tubi. In the chat, I'm seeing Netflix. The chat is going with Netflix. The rest of the world at 36%, at 36% went with Prime. What do you think about that?
I think Prime will let that shit rock, but it's gonna be heavily censored. Shit, the cut scenes ain't gonna be right. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute since we've seen it, so it's not like we're gonna remember every portion of it. So if they do cut some shit, we might not even notice it.
Right. Yeah.
I doubt Prime is gonna let that shit rock. You know what I'm saying?
So you saying Prime post edit game is on a whole nother level?
Oh, they gonna post edit some shit out of that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say Tubi's just gonna let it breathe. You know what I'm saying? The same
Raw
way
and
it just
uncut.
came out. Just all right, pass it through. That's it.
Raw and uncut. You know what I'm saying?
One and done. Let's go.
Straight blue magic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't even cut it. You don't need to. You know what I'm
saying? Not even a red magic, just straight magic.
Just keep it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question. And remember, y'all, these are not our questions, these are the world questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. We thrive off y'all interaction. All right, which artist and producer combo had the biggest impact on the culture? Again, which artist and producer combo had the biggest impact on the culture? Number one, Kendrick Lamar and DJ Mustard. Number two, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. Number three, Chief Keef and Young Chop. Number four, Future and Metro Boomin. Again, let us know what y'all think in the chat. Which artist and producer combo had the biggest impact on the culture? Again, number one, Kendrick Lamar, DJ Mustard. Uh, DJ number two, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Number three, Chief Keef and Young Chop. And number four, Future and DJ Boomin. Let us know what y'all think in the chat.
I'm going with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg because that's an era you can't repeat that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just pivotal in the time frame it came, and it's just like there's no other era after rap that can repeat how the Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre era when they came out was just important for the culture. It just moved it so forward so fast, and we didn't even know what they was doing because we was living when the shit was happening. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it was just intriguing to be part of that shit and knowing how the thing about Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg is like they put the West Coast on the map as far as like culturally. Like you can't go nowhere else and get West Coast culture unless you go to California. You know what I'm saying? So you can mimic it, you can pretend like you from there, but you gotta really go there to really embrace that culture. So shout out to them for doing that. And it was just a pivotal time. So none of these other people on that list would not be here without some form of Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. So I'm going with them.
that's a fact. I agree with that completely. I piggyback off your answer. I'm going with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg as well. Um, the first time I actually heard of them, obviously early '90s. I'm just a little kid, wasn't understanding everything that they were saying, but I know I should know who these guys are. The feeling that they was dropping, and the very first song I heard was Deep Cover, which they did a, um, a song for the Deep Cover movie. They did the soundtrack for that, or the single for that, and it just hit on a whole nother level. The video was fire, and I just remember just again how it made me feel, that gangster boogie, that just energy that was brought to it, and then their catalog throughout the years, their work in general speaks for itself. None of the other combos are slouches themselves, but I think, like you said, if it wasn't for them, you know, they wouldn't even. I don't. They took something from them, I should say. So I'm going with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg as well. My brother went with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. In the chat, I'm seeing mixed answers. I'm seeing Kendrick Lamar, Mustard, and then I'm seeing Future and Metro Boomin. The rest of the world at 56% went with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. What do you think about that?
I'm glad the rest of the world ain't smoking. I thought they was gonna say something ridiculous. I thought they were gonna say like Future. How you gonna pick 56% Future change? Like no disrespect, but it's like nah, y'all gotta know what came before. Like you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like there's a hierarchy to this. You know what I'm saying? Like without these people that came before, and even the people that came before Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, without the George Clintons and the Funkadelics and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Mhm.
wouldn't have some of this funky rap that they was coming out, because I ain't know nothing about George Clinton and the Funkadelics if it was for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and some of the beats they was going after and shit like that. I was like, oh, this is type gangster. Like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? So, in that era where it dropped, it was just like the music videos and everything. It was just everything, and it just brought West Coast culture into the homes of everybody who didn't even know what West Coast culture was about. You know what I'm saying? So that was very pivotal.
And to add on to your point, if it wasn't for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, I don't think I mean I knew of his music, but I didn't know of his music like that. To the point where like I'm one of his biggest fans, bro. His just off his catalog and music alone, Michael McDonald. They smooth jack Michael McDonald beats. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, the original sample kind of fire. You know what I'm saying? Who did that? You know what I mean? And then when I heard his original, I'm like, so he got the silky smooth voice with the vocals, and then I go see the video. It's not even a brother. He just out there like, yo, I'm here, baby. What's happening? Singing to a cultured woman. You know what I'm saying? Singing the panties off of that. Talking about on her own. Nah. Yeah, you gonna be on your own. You keep it up. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Michael McDonald. Shout out to Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Hollywood need to ask us. We came up with this segment because Hollywood has been giving us movies that are just not creative, and we didn't ask for a lot of these movies that they giving us right now. So we feel like we got better ideas, whether it's a movie or a TV show. You want to start this one off?
Now you can start it off.
All right, so my Hollywood need to ask us. I just mentioned this man. I want to see a 3 hour biopic of Michael McDonald career, bro. He got too much hits, dog. Too much. And then what's crazy, because a lot of artists who are considered, relevant in sense of, being active and dropping music and this, that, and the third. So when a lot of these fire beats, people hear them for the first time, they don't realize these samples. Like Michael McDonald sample game is heavy, meaning that he's one of the most sampled artists that you can even think of. And him again, silky smooth, singing them vocals, and his vocals matching the lyrics. And his catalog is ridiculous. I still listen to Michael McDonald still to this day. His catalog is ridiculous. He even did covers of other artists in his time. And I ain't trying to diss the other artists, but it sound better when Michael McDonald did it. So again, I want to see a 3 hour biopic of Michael McDonald's career, his life, which leaded up to the music, and which gave us, so much as a culture and so much in music. And he's still around. So I think it will be a great time. His career has spanned over decades. And I want to see a Michael McDonald biopic. I didn't ask for Queen, and we got Queen. I didn't ask for the Bob Dylan movie. We got the Bob Dylan movie. I certainly didn't ask for Elvis, and I still never even seen Elvis. I don't even know I mentioned I will never see an Elvis movie. But the other two artists, I didn't see the Bob Dylan movie, but I did see Queen. I didn't ask for it, but we got it. We need a Michael McDonald movie. Put y'all up on game on Michael McDonald. So that's what I want to see, a Michael McDonald movie. What do you think about that?
Fire shit.
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that, bro.
All right. So for me, I want to see, because a lot of these people are like 10 years removed now. I want to see um basically every year. FX should do this, but I want to see, for all the players that's about to retire, like the Steph Currys, the those who already went to the NCAA. I want to see biopics of when they were going through the tournament. I want to see documentaries of how it was for them coming up. You know what I'm saying? So all the historic schools that these top tier players went to when they was in college. I want to see the backstory of how the grind that it is going through the whole March Madness tournament. I don't think people understand how much uh focus and like how much basketball that shit is for like
Hmm.
a team to get into the tournament and then go all through the tournament and win it all the way. So I would love to see a documentary about the tournament, about March Madness, and specifically about top players who made such an impact in, like, let's say
Yeah,
one game or one series or one time you ever seen them and they just was cooking. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And just
yeah,
got their name out there, and then next thing you know, they like number one, number two draft pick. So I want to see how they put in that blood, sweat, and tears on that tournament, which is what we call the March Madness tournament. And I feel like being highlighted on their earlier skills would just showcase the hunger that they had playing the game and then going on to the league. So I definitely would want to see a documentary about all the elite players. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, Steph Curry, all the teams that all the players that went to Kentucky when they had their run, and all the schools that had their great run. Let's go to those schools and highlight those players. If they're not in the league, if they are in the league, let them speak their piece and just give them give the young players who coming up a rundown what it is to be in March Madness and what it takes to like really win one. You know what I'm saying? So I'd love to see that.
Now, do you have a player in particular that you didn't know until you saw a game in March Madness and he was cooking, and you just follow his career ever since?
Mm, I probably want to say probably when Kemba Walker was at Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't really know too much about bro and them. And I know he was like, I think he was in New York, came from New York too.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
when he was in Connecticut, and, you know what I'm saying, did what he did,
Cooking.
that's what made me like, oh shit, all right, let me see who this just cooking everybody. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
look,
So it's
look
just I
too.
just love to see the tenacity of like when that moment when the shit just turns on for the play and they just go ham. You know what I'm saying? So I'd love to see that documentary series about all the top schools and mainly the players who went to these schools as well. Like the schools are great, that's cool, but I ain't tuned in for Kentucky because it's Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? I tune in for the players. You feel
Right.
me? So respectfully, and not trying to play none of these historic franchises in these schools and all that. But for me, I've tuned in for the players. So
Mhm.
that's what I would love to see, and more so a focus on the players and not so much about the school.
It's two people for me that come to mind, and I can't believe I was watching these games when it happened. So, do you remember Eddie House on the Celtics, Boston
Yeah,
Celtics?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I remember seeing him in college in Arizona State, and my boy dropped 50 points. And I'm like, yo, who is son, bro? Dropping 50 at the two guard. Like, and he just letting it loose. Like, yo, I'm out here. I'm out here. And he's letting it loose. He looked like a young John Starks when I first seen him. I'm like, yo, who's son? And then the second dude was definitely uh, 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 CJ McCollum when he played for Lehigh. And for some reason, I'm watching Lehigh play Duke, and he is cookie monster on Duke. And they beat Duke, Lehigh. Like we went to school near Lehigh, up in the Syracuse area. We was right there, and he was cooking Duke. Like he had like 33 points in the game, and Coach K was like, "Yo, we don't got nobody that can guard this dude. Like, what's happening? Like, the 6'4" point guard, he's silky smooth out here, killing dude." And they had no answer for him. So I love that idea. So those are the two players that come to mind when I think of that. So shout out to that idea, man. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, one of our most known and famous segments, uh, our must see segment, must hear music, must watch or TV show, documentary, or stand up. Y'all love this segment, so we got some movies to drop to y'all. So make sure y'all check them out. Are you gonna start this one off?
All right, chat. Y'all already know how I do. This episode's just like last episode, so you already know I got a theme this time. Y'all can't guess the theme, so I'm gonna tell you what it is. So this one is my obscure CIA movies, right? So each one of these movies have a CIA theme, CIA handler. He works for the CIA. He's a double agent for the CIA. CIA all over this. You know what I'm saying? But these are movies that kind of got swept under the rug for some unknown reason. But to me, these movies is fire. All right. So the first one on the list is called Ronin. Came out in 1998. It stars Robert De Niro, Jean Reno, Natasha McLoney, Sean Bean, Stellan Skarsgård, Katrina Wilt, Jonathan Price, Michael Lonsdale, and Skip Seduth. Again, it's about the CIA operative, but he's a double agent and he's tasked to infiltrate the the Irish mob. and you gotta watch the rest of the movie to find out what happens. This is a fire movie, and this is before they was doing CGI and computer generated graphics. And this movie has one of the best car scenes and car chases I've ever seen in a movie. And this movie came out in '98, and ain't no movie since then topped this car scene. So if I'm wrong, you gotta tell me I'm wrong. So you gotta go see the movie. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So next one on the list is called The Saint. Came out in 1997. Stars Val Kilmer, so Elizabeth Shue, Philip Noyce, Roger Zabriskie, Roger Moore, Valerie Nikolev, Vitya Dersey, Inra. I'm not even gonna say that Russian last name. All right, and Phil Mellett. Basically about this super thief who gets caught up with the CIA. He has to work for. He's a double agent, and he gets tasked to go to Russia and steal some secrets. And you gotta watch the rest of the movie to find out if he made it out or not. You know what I'm saying? Fire movie again, swept under the rug, and had a great premise. Last on the list is Sum of All Fears. Came out in 2002. Stars Ben Affleck, Morgan Freeman, Liv Schreiber, Bridget Moynahan, James Cromwell, Syrian Hines, Bruce McGill, Colm Frere, Alan Bates, Philip Baker Hall, Jamie Harold, and John Beasley. Imagine for a second your first day in the job and they come and tell you somebody stole some nuclear weapons. Now you gotta figure out how he gonna figure out how they stole the nuclear weapons. Fire movies right here. You gotta see Some of Our Fears. And my choice, my movies for CIA obscure movies are Ronin, The Saint, and Some of Our Fears.
Make sure y'all tap in. Some fire movies right there. Shout out to Vic that just tapped in. One of our membership holders, our members. So shout out to you, Vic, for tapping in. He said Eyes Wide Shut is a dope movie. All right, y'all. So my three must-see movies. I'm telling y'all, these are great movies. Right now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm kind of stuck in the '80s because '80s and '90s got still their movie still holds up the best. I just can't I can't front to y'all. All right, so my first movie came out in 1990, directed by Curtis Hanson. This stars James Spader, Rob Lowe, Lisa Zan, Christian Clemenson. This movie is called Bad Influence. Fire movie about a young man just trying to, make his way through the corporate world, but he's a bit of a softie. He's engaged to be married. He meets somebody that saves him from a bad situation, and you have to watch the rest of the movie. It's a fire movie. Again, it's called Bad Influence. Second must see movie came out in 1985. It was directed by Fritz Kirsch. This movie stars James Spader again, Robert Downey Jr., Kim Richards, Paul Moons, and Kate Ya Sampson. That's her name. This movie is called Tough Turf. It's a movie about a young man going from one school to a whole another school in a completely different location. And this area is a little tough. He saves a man from getting robbed and killed, and you have to see the rest of the movie. Again, I won't ruin it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap in to see Tough Turf. Third and final must-see movie came out 1981, directed by Sidney Pollack. This movie stars Paul Newman, Sally Fields, Sidney Pollack, William Wilford Bimley, and Bob Bababan. This movie is called Absent of Malice. Fire movie. This movie is about a young reporter finds out that the the family member of a mobster might or might not be doing some shady things, and you have to tap into the rest of the movie. So I'm not going to ruin it for y'all. So again, make sure y'all tap in to see Bad Influence, Tough Turf, and Absence of Malice. Make sure y'all tap in. Have you ever seen any of these movies I'm talking about, bro?
Nah, I ain't seen them.
So make sure y'all tap in. Good news. Shout out to Critical Rick just tapping into the building. Again, one of our badge holders for tapping in. Sound like Rumble in the Bronx. Now, Tough Turf, it got a Rumble in the Bronx theme to it, but there's no special special fighting skills as far as like a Jackie Chan. This is straight, American rumble, tumble in the alley, pocket knife type of energy, you know what I'm saying? Riding bikes and, driving muscle cars. That's the type of rumble tumble things going on in this movie. But make sure y'all tap into it. It's a really good movie. All right, y'all. Moving on to our must hear, our must hear, our must hear. I'm giving y'all these artists again. Change your vibration of music for all my music lovers. All my music lovers, make sure you put these 3 songs on your playlist. Legendary group BBD. Make sure y'all put these on your playlist. Number 1, Something's in Your Eyes. Number 2, Do Me. Pause. Number 3, Poison. So make sure y'all tap into those songs again. Something's in Your Eyes, Do Me, and Poison. Again, from their group BBD. So make sure y'all tap in. All right, moving on to our classic show, must see show, documentary, or stand up comedy. You want to start this one off?
Now you can start it off.
They said Ludacris chicken and bid. I think critical mentioned Ludacris chicken and bid before. ABCD BBD. Yeah, make sure y'all tap. Yeah, ABC was a group. They was popping back in the day. They had like 2 singles. If you had 2 singles back in the day, you know what I'm saying? You was a legit star. You know what I'm saying? You had 2. That was the required minimum. You need 2 stars to be a legitimate star back in the day. You would just be popping. You know what I mean? They crack it up in the chat. All right, y'all. So my must see classic show, documentary, or stand up. Y'all must see Paul Mooney stand up called The Godfather. Hilarious stand up, y'all. And of course, he takes uh political things and again turn them into humor. He's talking about social commentary and turning them into humor. So make sure y'all tap into Paul Mooney, The Godfather. What do you think about The Godfather? You ever seen The Godfather? Paul Mooney stand
I
up.
have to remember what joke he had on it, or what was the background, what was he doing. I remember. I think I might have seen it. I just don't remember.
It was funny, 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 funny. So make sure y'all tap in. Rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace to Paul Mooney. Rest in peace to The Godfather. All right, bro, you your turn.
My classic show is came out in 1997, had 5 seasons. Definitely a classic, and I'm pretty sure you could catch it on Tubi. It's Daria. Classic show about coming of age, and it was animated, and it was just a pivotal time when this show came out. So the voiceover actors are Tracy Grandstaff, Wendy Hopes, Julian Ribolito, Maria Thompson, Ashley Albert, Mario Gonzalez, Janie Mertz, Sarah Denwy, Jonathan Worth Lynn Jr., Jessica Sidney Jackson, Jeffrey Aaron, and Evan Farmer. Like I said, it's about this young girl who is part of a family, and she's going through teenage life, and you basically have to watch the show. It's a fire show. It was just some of the jokes on there was just like way before its time, and I think it was a fire series, and you definitely got to tap into it. So the show was called Daria.
Fire, fire. Make sure y'all tap in. Have you ever seen Mr. Brooks with Kevin Costner? Yeah, seen that. That movie was hella creepy. Good movie. Hella creepy. A better version of that though is The Rich Man's Wife or A Rich Man's Wife. That's a better version of that in my opinion. Uh Critical Rick is funny. He cracking jokes. But shout out to Critical Rick, man, for showing love in the chat. All right, y'all. You got cologne for us?
Definitely got cologne for y'all. Y'all look good, you feel good, you do good, you're gonna smell good. The fragrance for this week is Future Society. And I'm sorry, the name of the fragrance is Future Society, and the scent is called Floating Forest. Gotta tap in with this bottle right here. Again, we don't steer you wrong. You look good, you feel good, you smell good, you're gonna do good. Tap into Future Society. The scent is called Floating Forest.
Make sure y'all get that cologne. Again, the goal is to get the girl. So you got to smell good to feel good to get good. So make sure y'all tap into that cologne. All right, y'all. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time to wrap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, and documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. Again, button hyphenated sign snaps.com. So make sure y'all tap in. All right, y'all. First hot topic of the night. Uh, Robert Red Rushing, who's also known as the husband of Toya Johnson, who is the former wife of Lil Wayne. Uh, the husband went on a rant on social media saying that he was very upset with his wife that she received $1 million under the table for the show that they do, and she never told them about it. What do you think about that?
Wait, she did what?
She received $1 million under the table for the show that they do. I forget the name of the show, to be honest with you. I don't want to say the wrong show, but they have a show together about their family life and things like that. And she received $1 million for the show. Now everybody gets paid from the show, but they constantly tell him that they don't have the money to pay him like that, but he does make something. But she made $1 million, so from what he claims that she made $1 million under the table from the show, and she never told them about it. What do you think about that?
And was she obligated to tell him?
No.
I mean, wait. So she ain't tell Lil Wayne about the show? Isn't she like using who did she not tell again?
No, she didn't tell her husband. Her husband is Robert Red Rushing.
Oh
That's
no, she wrong for that. No, it's all the way wrong. What you mean you didn't tell your husband? There's a reason why you didn't tell your husband. So, and we act like this is okay. Like, nah, that's all the way wrong. You all the way out of pocket, and you sneaky and conniving for doing it. That's why you did it under the table and did it behind your back, because you wasn't trying to be genuine at all.
Mhm.
So it's like, what's the point of that? What's the point of having a marriage, a union, if you gonna hide $1 million under your table? What? So in fear if y'all get divorced, that he don't have no entitlement to that bread? Because if it was in reverse, it'll be a whole hootenanny, it'll be a whole uproar, it'll be this whole fucking problem. Like, oh, this man's hiding money, he don't want to be responsible for his family, this, that, and the third. But when a woman does it, oh, she's just protecting herself. Nah, that's scandalous, you scammy, and that's very fraudulent. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And to answer Critical Rick's answer, my whitest show I ever watched is Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, that's a great show.
Top tier show right there.
Great show. Y'all seen the joy on my face? That's a great show. Larry just be doing stuff. Like, shout out to Kirby Enthusiasm. Fire show.
But yeah, she all the way wrong for that. She all the way out of pocket, and women gonna feel like, oh, that's not wrong with it. But that's why y'all single, because y'all do shit like that, and then expect other women to be behind you and champion the shit, and they be single too.
Mhm.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't gonna be married for long with that type of mentality. No way.
And I want to answer Critical Rick before I give my answer. My favorite whitish show, Melrose Place. You know what I'm saying? Like Melrose Place, they get it popping. You know what I'm saying?
They some of these cats too young for Melrose Place. We go back to silk stockings on their ass.
bro, bro.
Don't know nothing about
They
silk stockings.
Nothing about Silk Sockets was on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? I
Matter
just
of
like
fact,
how.
I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna take it back to the when WB was doing they almost like they soap opera shit. They
Yeah.
had this show called Savannah. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Now I don't
Yeah.
know about that.
I'm divorced. I'm divorced.
You twice divorced, so you better name a show that's around silk stockings, all right?
Yeah, yeah. They said 902,
Nah,
102.
nah, 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 nah. I need something better than that. More, you gotta come harder than that. 90210 is passe. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's passe. You know what I'm saying? We using,
You gotta dip in your bag for real. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I dip heavy in my bag with silk stockings. You
Silk,
gotta give
silk,
something.
silk stockings is on a whole nother level, y'all.
You know what I'm
Imagine,
saying?
imagine top cop work with a whole lot of sexiness, just mad stockings, just really
Mad candle lit. You know what I'm saying? Mad candles.
come on, solving mad.
Wind blowing the white curtains.
You know what I'm saying? Solving mad crime with just
Mad crime.
mad lacy. panties and bras all around. Just
Steel magnolias. Okay, I gotta give you that. All right.
still, it's cool. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But silk stockings, Melrose Place. That's top tier. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother level. You know what I mean? You want to upgrade your weed. You know what I'm saying? That's a better grain of weed right there. You know what I mean? But
Yo, if you watching in the heat of the night, I can't bop with you, my guy. You
nah,
probably was watching MASH too. Like, nah,
nah,
I can't even. You
don't,
got it, son. If you was
bro,
watching in the heat of the night, nah.
bro, don't say that because you know me, bro. You know I got 3 box sets of the heat of the night in the crib. You know what I'm saying? You know that.
Nah, when the heat of the night came on, it was just like MASH. It was time for me to go to sleep, son.
Nah. See, you don't remember Heat of the Night when they had my dude Apollo Creed play the top cop. You just remember the dude that they finished with. You know what I'm saying? But when my boy Apollo Creed was on there holding it down as the top cop, you know what I'm saying? Chill.
Nah.
I got the box set in the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Now, once I see MASH or any of them shows, I'm going to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
I give you Mash. I give you Mash. Mash hands down is trash. I give you Mash. But you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Biggs tapping into the building, man. Appreciate you as always. But to end to add on to what you're saying, I think it's wrong myself. When you're married, there has to be open lines of communication, especially when it comes to money, because most marriages end off of finances. So what is the big deal? $1 million is a lot of money. It's more than enough to go around. And I'm pretty sure that he's not asking for half. And I'm pretty sure he's not even asking for a quarter of it. But damn, just knowing that we have something to be, something that's put away for our family, like what's the big deal? They share a daughter together. It's not like they just have she come to the situation with her, her daughter and her from a previous marriage. They have a family together. They've been together for a while. So you would think finances is a topic in the house and not something that's being hid. And I don't see the big deal on telling somebody that you sharing your life with why you don't say anything. I just don't understand that. So I think it's wrong myself, and it shows a level of uh, disrespect and distraction because there's no other thing that you could sum that up to. Is very disrespectful. And where is your antennas without telling me what's going on with the finances? I'm,
That's a fact.
it's just that sounds crazy. So I can't believe she would hide that from her husband, and it's justified on why he's upset. But I don't agree with him going on social media platform and doing it in that way. Like, yo, address your wife and do it privately. The whole world don't need to know your business, but we're going to talk about it when it comes out. But that's a matter that could have been better suited in private. So that's what I think. Adding on to Toya Johnson, who is the ex-wife of Lil Wayne, she also said on a recent podcast if she wanted to be with Lil Wayne, she could still be with Lil Wayne. Trust and believe she could still be with Lil Wayne. These are her words. What do you think about that?
Cap. It's a coping mechanism women say to just say it like it means something. Like that's cap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? No, it's not. If you wanted to be with him, you would be with him. Like, what's the point of saying that statement? You know what I'm saying? Is an empty statement because if so you don't want to be with him because why? You know what I'm saying? Like, so now you're taking away from the matter of fact of you just saying that this man is just waiting for you because it's you. We talking about Lil Wayne here. Like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
There's like for him, there's like 20 of you Toyas like he could find
Right.
from any given moment at any given night at any given concert that he's performing at. Like, let's be serious. Like to say that you could be with him whenever you want, it's just pure cap. It's just to keep your name in the limelight because you really don't do nothing. All you are is Lil Wayne's baby mama. That's it. Did you piggyback that into like a multi-level business and I don't know how you could do that, but you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Did you do that? No. What do you know for? Just carrying Lil Wayne's child. That's it. But yeah, we make it seem like you credible and you have like some leverage in the game and you really uh push the needle forward in the culture.
And if she do have businesses that we don't know of, it still spawned and was birthed basically through Lil Wayne, because without his name, cachet, and his finances, you wouldn't be in the position that you're in. So, for example, for her to have a show, you have a show based on the fact that you used to be with Lil Wayne, not that you're married to someone else. And if you took that money and turned it into a business, okay, wonderful. But what you're known for is being his wife. Again, just more disrespect on top because you're a married woman. Why say that when you're a married woman? Why say that? Why alienate your husband even more? Another level of disrespect. I think a lot of women, and we love women on this show. We love women. We come from women. But we want to make sure that there's a level of understanding that women has to understand what men think. And you have to understand what men think without it being, oh well, uh, 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 no, this is what y'all mean. No, this is what we're saying is what we mean. So the level of disrespect on one end that she shows to her husband, if she wanted to be with Lil Wayne, she could have him if she wanted to. Two, there's a difference between being able to have sex with someone and them actually like wifing you. Yeah, he wifed you the first time, but I don't know Lil Wayne personally. I just know of his music. I would think Lil Wayne is like me and like mine. Once you leave, start a family. Forget all that. Once you leave and start getting your boots cooked by somebody else, I no longer want you in that way. In a way where we're going to build and have a family structure. Like, yeah, we could be family. We could be cool in the sense of, yeah, like we got children and we could be cordial. We could have a great relationship. We could talk, but I'm not looking to build with you. I'm not looking to get back with you. If I smash from time to time, that's something completely different. That's just sex by itself. But to build with you, nah. So I would think that a man like Lil Wayne would be on that more of that type of timing opposed to actually getting back with her to this married woman. I don't know what you think about what I just said.
No, it's just out of pocket and out of line. It's just always um I feel it's to paint this type of narrative that women can just do whatever they want with no consequences, and there's always gonna be a man there to validate their goofiness. And
Hmm.
there's always some nigga there to validate half these ladies' goofiness. And it's like no none of these niggas standing on business be like, nah, you're wrong, or fuck out of here. That's it's not going down like that.
Hmm.
They don't pick those men. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, absolutely not.
For some unknown reason, they don't pick those men, but they pick the ones that validate their goofiness all the time. And we all know it's goofy,
Hmm.
but for some reason, nobody want to call it out.
Hmm. And she's a very attractive woman. The accent, all that is wonderful. But again, she's doing herself a disservice in her own marriage by saying these things, by doing these actions, and it just sounds crazy. She got to make better decisions if she wanted to continue to be married, because none of this stuff matters. You saying it on the podcast, acting like you gonna flex or you flexing, and it just makes you look bad just by saying it. It sounds crazy. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Rapper Yellow Beezy facing capital murder charge. Arrested for him allegedly being a hitman for hire or hiring somebody for the murder for the rapper Mo 3. What do you think about that?
You know, things that's about to get deeper than that. Like that's just the um tip of the iceberg. Pause. A lot of stuff that's been going on is just behind the scenes, and a lot of stuff is tying in together. And the Fed's really going to come down on a lot of this stuff, like especially these supposed dice games that these celebrities are going to and getting caught up in and getting robbed and getting shot. So a lot of these things is going to come back again and bite certain people in you know what I'm saying, in the proverbial butt. So this one right here for the murder of Mo3, like a lot of people were saying like internet fucking detectives were saying that hey, this was a lot, it was a more there was more to it than what the initial reports were saying. So now that the feds came back and all those people that were reporting on it that said what they initially said are now vindicated because the feds actually reported on what these people were saying and then they looked into it. Come to find out, they may have a case. You know what I'm saying? So we're
Mhm.
gonna see what the evidence is once the trial comes.
And this is like real bug to me because I've been to Dallas before. I performed in Dallas, and Dallas is a very nice area or place that you will want to live. It's a nice vibe of the city. Of course, every city has its you know hood or neighborhood wild areas, but for the most part, Dallas is a nice city, man. And to hear Mo3 being murdered the way that he did, you could tell that wasn't by random. The time that he supposedly left the young lady's house on, from him seeing the young lady and the time of his murder and how it happened and them chasing him down on the highway, it was that was something that was thought out, planned out, and deliberate. So to hear that Yellow Beezy is connected to this is actually like surprising. Like we've seen Yellow Beezy, at Colorado, going to the games, supporting those players, giving them, information on how to be better, how to do better, stay out the streets. And you hear that he's in connection of this, or probably was the facilitator of this. And like you said, more will come out. But at the end of the day, like this is wild. I would have never put them two together. Like Dallas don't give me an energy as a city of haters because everybody's doing well. So I to see that in a place like that is actually mind blowing. All right, to add on to the story of Mo3 and the murder of Mo3, rapper Yellow Beezy has been in custody, but he's been stabbed multiple times. Not even 24 hours in, he was seen lifeless, but they haven't confirmed if he's passed away. He's in critical condition. What do you think about that?
That's crazy. I didn't even hear that's what happened. Like it just it's like yo, if you're a federal prosecutor and you need this case to move forward and you feel like this case is going to make or break your career, you would want to make sure all the players in the case are very well protected, this, that, and the third. But I guess in this scenario, they didn't think that I don't know, this case wasn't that important, or this person didn't need to be housed in shoe or stayed away from like general pop and stuff like that. And it's just unfortunate. Hopefully he does pull through, but we'll never get the full story if you know what I'm saying, if he does pass, and it will be unfortunate because now the case won't go anywhere. So hopefully he does, you know what I'm saying, pull through from them injuries.
Yeah, man. Like, and that was quick. That was quick. So this stuff has multi levels and layers that like this beef or a lot of this rap street type of energy is given, and it's so crazy because a lot of these dudes is dying very young, and this new thing called ops is such a it has deadly consequences to it. And as a man, you're not going to back down from any smoke. Somebody call you a op, you're going to step two. But it has deadly consequences. And I said this last episode. What happened to a man to man? I need 2 minutes with you. Whether we're gonna have a conversation or we're gonna fight, straight up fight, and that's how we're gonna work this out. Because there's no coming back from death, bro. And a lot of times, all it takes is a conversation. And some of these people that you end up killing could have been a solid friends, could have been solid, somebody solid that could have held you down in the future. You just never know. I understand beef and I understand a man's pride and I understand letting situations overtake you. But at the end of the day, it's one thing to knuckle up it's a whole nother thing to load them guns and to go execute that and to see the consequences so fast. Crazy. Shout out to the chat. They showing major love in the chat. What is Dallas is a business oriented city. That's a fact. You're not supposed to ever admit to banging on camera. That I don't understand why these dudes do that at all. I don't even understand that. I don't know who raised them in the streets. That's wild. Like Craig, Daddy said, kids are afraid to take an ass whooping. That is a fact. That is a fact. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. I don't know if you've seen the video, but is it out of pocket or justified for Washington Commanders, the quarterback Jaden Daniels' mother? She breaks up a moment between her son Jaden Daniels and USC basketball star Juju Watkins at a basketball game. They was sitting there, had their moment. They was joking, smiling. It looked like they was kind of vibing each other. They sitting right next to each other at the game. And then the next clip, Mom Duke saying in between them was like, "Yeah, shorty, you look over there." Her smile went from big cheese to no nothing. And he like kind of looked at his mother, shook his head, and act like he was looking on his phone. And she felt like she needed to do that. So, do you feel that move on his mom was out of pocket or justified?
Um, well, at this stage in the game, I understand what she's doing to make sure her son is like um on point, but at the end of the day, he's still a grown man. So it's like I don't even understand like why his mom is so overbearing. I get it. Like I think she's his manager or something like that, which is also out of pocket. Like that's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I get it. You trying to protect your nest egg because you don't got nothing else going for you, and you gotta make sure like your son is gonna be there. But you always gotta understand, sons is always gonna take care of their mothers. Like it
Facts.
doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? We always gonna take care of their mothers. But don't be one of them overbearing mothers that's just all up in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Like you be cool. Like we both on, you know what I'm saying? We both sitting at the damn at courtside. You know what I'm saying? Why
Hmm.
you gotta sit right in the middle between me and my little dip? Like I don't get that. Sit two, three seats over there. You know what I'm saying? Just be
Hmm.
down there. Like it's gonna be no problem. You my mom. They're gonna situate you. You're gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. But
Hmm.
sitting in between me and my date, that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? And then also it's like it just looks bad because it's like you playing a manly sport. You're in the most manly position, the most sought after position ever in life is the quarterback, but yet and still you getting run by your mother. It's just the optics look bad. You know what I'm saying? It
Hmm.
just looks terrible. And it's always this image when it comes to black men is either yes, we're talking about masculinity and be strong, but yet this person that's talking about being strong and masculine did a gay scene. So it's like, yeah, how could you be masculine but you did a gay scene though? Then on the other end, it's like, yeah, we masculine and strong, but it's still we got our mothers that's overbearing and then over our head. Like it's like it's never not just a man being a man and it has nothing to do with that. He's just being a man. That's it. It always has to be some overarching scenario on the side that make you being a man have a spotlight on it
Hmm.
or asterisk. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like it has nothing to do with you just being a man just cause. Like so with that image, I get it, but then I don't get it because you know how the media always spin it and make it look
Yeah.
weird. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this shouldn't even have been uh, 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 a point of topic, but yet and still it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like it's showcasing like, all right, you're playing the most manliest sport there is. You're leading men to battle, but yeah, you can't tell your mom to chill. Like,
Hmm.
like, how's that even optically? How's that even like something to stand behind? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, technically, because I don't want people on the rewatches or whatever, but technically, they wasn't on the date. They was at the game. She was sitting there. He comes a little later. I don't know if they even romantically involved, but they was, that type of smile a woman give you. She's enjoying your company and y'all chilling. She's a star in her own right. He's a star. Let them they enjoying the moment, and Mama Dukes is like, yeah, nah, I ain't having none of that. Juju is cute. She's a very attractive young lady, and she has a bright future playing basketball. She's one of the best ever to play college women's basketball, making her own money from NIL. So I think a mom like that, I get her role in the sense of she want to protect her son and let women know that you're not going to run game over here. I understand that. But it's case by case. You don't do that to every single person. You just can't, because now you make him look like a big softy. Again, the quarterback position, like you said, is the most covered position in any sport. There's no position more famous than an NFL quarterback. Simple and plain. And to play that position, you gotta have some balls. Pause. So again, being respectful of his mom, of course, not saying what he needs to say to his mom in public, because that will look even worse. That he check his mother in public on TV, the cameras on them at a basketball game. But that type of behavior is a bit out of pocket. And again, know your battles, mom. He's a grown man. Learn your battles, regardless if you're mom or and manager. Learn your battles, because there's nothing for him to say, okay, mom, you know I'm gonna take care of you anyway. I don't really need you as my manager anymore. I just need you to be my mom. He can easily do that. Grown man. He can never fire you as his mother, because you're his mother. That role can never be changed. He
I
will
never
never that role.
never thought I would actually see the real life Malik Wright
Yo,
in
that's
life.
facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like
But
this is
I
crazy.
actually I can't co-sign that, only because you know what I'm saying. Malik Wright had chicks in the crib, and the girl was like, "Yo, your mom's living next room." You're like, "Yo, it's cool. We have sex up here." And he was like, "You don't believe me? Yo, mama, we can have sex up here, right?" She was like, "Yeah, it's cool." So I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't throw that on her. You know what I'm saying? She was kind of popping, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I give her somebody else, but this is out of pocket to me. This is completely out of pocket. It's case by case. Let them enjoy their moment. If you're not feeling her, if you got words that you need to tell your son, then tell your son. But you don't want to drive that wedge in such a public and demonstrative type of fashion where it makes him look weak. Message. What's the movie that Keenan Ivory Wayne kept talking? He was like, message.
Um, which one called Stop Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. What's the
Yeah,
movie again?
yes.
Ministers.
Yeah,
I can't remember the whole thing. It's a whole can't remember the whole line or something. But
that
yeah,
dude That dude is a legend. Every time something happens, message. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. New Yorkers are getting overly frustrated. This has been a topic on social media. New Yorkers are getting overly frustrated that native New Yorkers, are not prevalent on the radio, on New York City radio, as uh, showrunners, speakers, it's people from other states and areas that have the shows on New York radio. So the people in New York City is getting frustrated that, their, online TV personality, their radio personalities are not native New Yorkers speaking the New York tongue. What do you think about that?
I mean, I get that. Yeah, and no. It's like, yo, y'all New Yorkers is wilding. This is why New York is finessing y'all. Y'all getting raped with fucking the congestion prices. Y'all worried about who the fuck is on the radio? Like, come on, son. Are you serious? Y'all getting violated by coming into the city that you live in, that you gotta pay to go into the city to go work, but you worried about what's on the radio. This is why they could do this to y'all. You know what I'm saying? This way picking and choosing when they really want to do shit. Like, What has that congestion pricing done for New Yorkers? Is it put money back in your pockets? No. Okay. Did it make the congestion better? Did it make commuting better to the city? But you worried about on the radio. All right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Makes a whole lot of sense. The greatest city in the world, some of the greatest people in the world, the type of stuff that people in New York come up with is flawless. But the last couple of years, y'all been dropping the ball, son. I'm not even gonna hold you. Y'all been dropping the ball, son. Y'all been getting finessed all types of different ways. And this is when it's your back is at the corner. I mean, your back is at the wall. You worried about the damn radio station that somebody from Minnesota is doing the radio. I don't give a hot damn about the radio right now. When they raping your pockets all types of ways, and then on top of it, you still getting paid taxes twice. I mean, pick your battles. That one right there is not no battle that needs to be even be brought up. Like, especially if y'all still paying for congestion prices. Nobody fight that. And then on top of that, raising the fares on MTA, but yet and still the MTA ain't been good in the last 25 years. But okay, you worried about the radio. All right, that's what's up. That's why I come and go in New York. I don't stay there no more. I just come, visit, and dip.
Me personally, I get their point. To add on to your point, from what I've seen, they said the congestion had made traffic flow better, but it's still a congestion.
If I gotta pay for it, how's it benefiting me? If I gotta pay for it,
right? They talking about as far as the traffic flow.
I get that, but if we gotta pay for it, that your best suggestion is to New Yorkers to pay for the congestion. That's your best suggestion that I gotta pay for, on top of me paying for high-rise prices, high-rise, can't even get into the city properly, and then on top of that, I'm still getting taxed twice. But your best bet is, because the traffic is good, but we paying for it.
But again, the subject matter is about the radio, right? So to add on to your point, they saying that the flow of traffic is better, but they got to pay for it. But the funny part is not even that. It doesn't go to New York. Who owns the congestion price fees?
First of all, y'all don't even know who owns what's the joint? Easy Pass. Easy Pass is owned by another company, a foreign company. So y'all paying foreign company they bread, but you worried about niggas on the radio. Easy Pass ain't even owned by New York. Any company in New York. So you're not even paying a New York nigga. You paying some other nigga you don't even know about. But you worried about niggas on the radio. All right, that's what's up.
But being in New York City, I lived in New York City for a long time. And New York City is the place of, I would say, I'm trying to figure the best word to say this, but it's really about a place of just, damn, I can't think of the word right now. It escapes me. But being that this is a subject, a topic, a matter, I get where they're coming from. You're talking about alluding to a much bigger problem, but they're talking about this and radio in itself. I could get that. Now, if they was to change some New Yorkers to the bigger problem, is it going to change the congestion prices? Right? That's what you alluded to. But
no, it's not about the change in the congestion prices. It's the mere fact of how we were supposed to be. New York is supposed to be resilient. We're supposed to have this. We have all these adjectives describing how New Yorkers are, but yet and still we're getting finessed by our own people we hire. To the point where they told you, paying for congestion is gonna be the best option. That's the best y'all could come up with. For New York niggas to pay to not come to the city. That's the best you could come up with. But this is why y'all complain about niggas on the radio, because y'all don't got no more hope. The best you could hope for is like, let me get somebody from New York on the radio. That's the best y'all could hope for.
So again, to stay with the radio station and the stuff, I get it. I get the fact that people feel neglected because you go to any other city, any other place, the people that are on their radio stations are from the city. If you go to Atlanta, it's nothing but Atlanta people on the radio in Atlanta. So I get it. When you go to Cali, you get Cali energy. You go to Vegas, you get that Vegas energy. People are there from the city. Now, again, you alluded to a much bigger problem, but at the end of the day, I get their grievances because New York City haven't been ran by New York people in a long time. They're talking about a golden era when they could listen to the radio and hear, Ed Lover and Dr. Dre, Fab Five Freddy. Like these people had prevalent radio shows. You talking about Star and Buck Wild. Like these people are from the tri-state area. So I get it.
Y'all can't talk about niggas on the radio when you had how long has what you would call been on 105.1? I mean, Power 105. What's his face? Bald headed nigga. He ain't even from New York.
Tom Joyner?
No. Power 105. What's the name?
Power 105. I'm Ebro.
No. Bald headed brown skin nigga. What's his lame nigga name? Charlemagne. He not from New York.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? He been on the radio for years. He never been from New York ever.
Yeah, he's
but
from
y'all
South.
let that slide, and now, like, come on, come on, New Yorkers, like, let's do better than this, man. Let's do better, son. Let's do better than this. This is not no real gripe, like, for real. Come on, dog. Like, this cannot be no real, actual problem y'all really having that y'all really want to solve. Nah, it can't be.
But
it can't be.
But let's keep it funky. Them bringing it up, is it going to change anything?
Just like nothing else, they don't bring up nothing. It ain't gonna change nothing. So I don't even see the point of even talking about this. Like, y'all not doing nothing. Y'all can't change nothing. Y'all have no way of doing, having no way of actually changing shit. You know what I'm saying? There is no real way of changing shit in New York. It is what it is.
And why do you think that is? Because I know why it is, but I wanna hear your take on it.
I think just failed policies over the years. Just many people just picking it up and moving the can along and keeping the status quo, saying the same buffale. Well, when I get to office, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. And when they get to office, they don't do none of that. And New Yorkers don't hold nobody to the flame. Like we don't hold none of these people to what they say they're gonna do. As soon as they don't do it, they'll be like, "Oh shit, all right, nothing's done." So I think it's just how New York has been over the years. Like, there ain't really been no real change, supreme change that everybody in New York actually feel and benefit from.
Mm-hmm. They're going in on the chat. Yeah, like at the end of the day, again, I get it. If I'm listening to the radio and I'm from a particular area, just like any other area, I want to hear my people too. To my bro's point, there's a bigger, conversation that's needed for New Yorkers or what's needed in New York. I definitely get that as well. But for the topic in itself, I get it. I get it. If you want somebody, how y'all going to empower somebody? Because New York is the type of place where you could be really good at something, doesn't mean people going to support it. When you go to other places, the reason why the structure is the way that it is because people support it locally first. And then when they make their rise to the next level, they have a base that comes from the local, the people's champ. New York City no longer have people's champs because there's no real support. There's no real level of thing that you want somebody on the radio that you're going to empower this person from this podcast, this person from that club, this person from this particular entity that deals with music and deals with music and politics where they can propel themselves into the radio platform, into the radio space. That's why it won't be no change. So, New York, start supporting your people. Support these artists, support these DJs, support organizers that's putting things together. These are the people that become your people's champ that could get propelled to these positions. Just like any other place. They do that in Miami. They do that in Atlanta. They do that in California. They do that in Vegas. Some of the biggest markets in the world. It's not hard at all. Pause. Ricky Smiley. Yeah, Ricky Smiley had a crazy base for a while too. That's a fact. But Ricky Smiley, he's from like Mississippi or something. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Rest in peace, boxing legend George Foreman has passed away at 76. What do you think about that?
R.I.P. to George Foreman. You know what I'm saying?
Legend, legend. We seen him in one movie. We seen him in a movie with Will Smith. Well, Will Smith about Muhammad Ali. His character portrayed in Muhammad Ali. Uh, I loved his biopic. His biopic was fire, and it shed a lot of light on his career and the happenings of it. I remember, young George Foreman, mad brolic, knocking everything out with one hand. You know what I'm saying? Just knocking everything out, and then him eventually losing to Muhammad Ali. And then I seen George Foreman again. I remember being little, and my father like, "Yeah, George Foreman, Holyfield about to fight tonight." And I'm a little guy, and I'm like, "Oh word!" And then I just see this real big round man fighting this diesel dude, and the diesel dude is sticking and moving, sticking and moving. I'm like, yo, he looks stronger than the big dude. Like, why he dancing so hard? And my pops was like, yo, just because George Foreman is round, he still knock you out one hit a quarter. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know what I'm saying? Holyfield, bobbing and weaving, So shout out to George Foreman. And then after his career, getting snaked out a lot of his money, and just so happens, he was like, man, I need to get my money up, get my dollars up. And they like, yo, we got this idea that, yo, if you promote it, you can make about quick $5,000 to get you out your situation. This particular product changed the industry known as the George Foreman grill. It changed how people prepared their meals in their house on a daily basis. So again, RIP to George Foreman, a legend in the game in boxing and in industries. So shout out to George Foreman. My condolences to his family. Rest in power. Appreciate you, George Foreman. They going in the chat with the jab. More. I can't say that too loud because they look like grill and blue blockers. Yeah, yo, he had the blue blockers. Y'all remember blue blockers? That's funny. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Snowfall has a spinoff starring Gail Bean and Isaiah John, which is known as the Leon and Wanda character from Snowfall. What do you think about that?
That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Giving them those two characters some more fucking work. You know what I'm saying? Because they was fucking pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Their acting prowess is pretty up there. I feel as though like another drug tale is like that's not showcasing their talents. Like put them in something else. But I get it. You know what I'm saying? These gotta pay the bills. And this is a check for them to pay the bills. So I'm gonna tune into it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know their acting prowess is on point.
Hmm. Gail Bean is very good. She's a very underrated actress. I've seen her play multiple roles, and the roles felt different every single time. They felt believable every single time. Wanda's character is very complex, where she goes from a fun-loving girl that you just wanted to be around, you want to root for, to her being a whole crackhead, and then for her to clean up and not even want to be in the street element, all displayed on the show of Snowfall. Great show. Um, I think them picking those characters in particular to do the spinoff, I think was excellent because of their acting prowess and their ability to be able to carry based on the acting. But I will say this. I hope that they surround the show with some more star power so that way their skill equals more stars will bring a better show. And I just hope it has a balanced message to this show because the ending message of Snowfall is amazing. So shout out to them. I think this is a great idea, and this will be fire.
And
I
hopefully American actors get to play these roles. Like I'm tired of you getting
fact,
British niggas playing American niggas. Like what the fuck is that about?
fact.
What type of coonery is this? Like you pitting the very few black roles that black actors have against other black actors. Like
Mm.
why do y'all do that? because I ain't never seen an American black actor try to play a British actor.
Mm-hmm.
But you British niggas love to play American niggas. Why? Y'all don't got no other British roles y'all can play?
Well, I don't really blame the actor. I blame the people that's casting.
They the ones that still pick the roles.
Right.
And you still gotta blame them too. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all picked that role too, my nigga. You not from Baltimore. You from London, England, but you choose to play a Baltimore drug dealer?
They choose to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, bro.
They choose to eat. I can't.
I'm stepping on other niggas' toes, and the system created that, and y'all cool with just hopping on the train on the bandwagon.
I got a different take on that. I get what you're saying with as far as like the casting. That comes down to casting. People trying to get money, try to pay the bills. That's fair game. If I could pull it off, I'm gonna try to pull it off. That's like running a scam. People that run scams, they do it to try to pull it off. You couldn't pull it off, so you couldn't do it. The other people.
My problem with that is if you're in the show like The Wire, if you still get the real Baltimore drug dealer that actually was the real Baltimore drug dealer in the show, what would be the point of getting a nigga from Britain to play the nigga?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. But that's what I'm saying. The showrunners and the people who are doing the casting. Like that's a great point of The Wire, because the actual people that was doing the work was actually on the show, but in a much lesser role and capacity, right? But they not picking American-born speaking energy and vibe to these characters. So that's my thing. Like me personally, if I'm watching a British movie, I don't see how a casting director would pick an American to play a British actor. Like I don't see how the casting works. Now,
or why would if you have a gay role, why won't you just get a gay actor to play the gay role?
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like you act like there's not actors who are actually gay, who could really portray the role to its truest sense. Isn't that what acting is about?
That's a fact.
But y'all want to placate these games. Like I don't get that. Because they dangling checks in front of y'all. So when y'all have problems and y'all complain about the checks that they dangle in front of you, I don't want to hear it.
That's a fact.
Like, get out of here, son.
That's a fact. Like at the end of the day, actors gonna try to get their money. Like they ain't trying to starve like the dude. Well, not just him, but there's several actors who are married that if the role has homosexual scenes, they like, yo, I'm an actor. I'm a thespian. I'm an act. Me personally, I don't see how you do that without like being comfortable in that realm. If you are, then hey, man, whatever floats your boat, that got nothing to do with me. But it's weird when I see guys who got a woman under the tuck and do homosexual scenes with other guys.
And I'm supposed to be cool with it and just look it the other way because you're an actor. You acting. Nah, nigga, no. At all. No. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Because you could have got the actual person to actually play that. But no, you sawed off that role for what? That's sauce.
No Diddy. I think I forgot to say no Diddy. My bad, y'all. No Diddy. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Rapper Fabio Foreign has been locked up since January for multiple charges, including weapon possession. Since January. Also for pointing a gun at a woman, allegedly for asking for directions. And he probably won't be looked to be released until sometime July or August. What do you think about that?
In all honesty, nobody's checking for no Fabio Foreign. Like, what? Like, nobody's checking for your music. Like, see, this is why y'all need to be in the studio. If you're in the studio making music, you're not gonna be in the streets doing this dumb shit. You need to be in the studio making new hits. That's what you need to be doing. But obviously, no, you thought you was lit. You thought you was somebody. Nah, you need to be making music. That's how motherfuckers know you for, is making music.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know you for catching cases. But what about the music?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
That,
saying? So
that's the thing that you said was once an artist, like real talk, once an artist is known for catching cases, his career is basically over. Like seriously, when it's one thing to make your music, you had a case over here, but you're making music. You had a case over there, you're making music. You got a case over there, you're making music. And then you're making music. So it becomes about the music and you kind of become a bad boy of such, outside the industry where you're making your music. Keyword, making your music, right? But when the story feels like you having more court cases than your music, then it's basically over. Now, can he get out and get to work and make hits? Of course. But we've just seen a pattern of this over the years, not with him, but with other artists, that once they really start getting into these cases, it's over. It becomes a what they call a snowball effect. I don't know. What do you think about that?
it's like if I know you for your music and you stop doing that, I'm not checking for you because I know you for making music. So if you stop doing that, then I just lose interest in you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me personally.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like making music, but then you doing other stuff over here, you doing this, you got that. All right, cool. Now
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna make me tap into all this stuff. But if you making music and then all of a sudden all that is halted, and now you gotta do a court case. Now I don't care about the music no more.
Right.
Now I'm
Right.
gonna just move on to the next person. And you can't be
Right.
mad
Right.
because you're not there to entertain me. So at the end of
Right.
the day, I'm gonna go to the next person to entertain me because that's what it's about. Y'all want my attention, right? My
Right.
attention equals dollars, right? So well, give me something to pay attention to. And
Mm-hmm.
it damn sure better not be a court case because I'm gonna fall asleep on that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I just think bros got to make better decisions when you're not in the studio. Let the lifestyle be the lifestyle. But when you live in the real world, it's nothing cooler than getting older. It's nothing cooler than having real peace in your life. It's nothing cooler than live real good, have a nice, fine woman or a few fine women, have your place, nice whip, could travel, and have peace while you doing all that. There's nothing more cooler than that. It's nothing more cooler than being able to see another day, than to have children and watch your children have children. There's nothing cooler than that. There's more to life than what's going on in these streets. Trust me. And a lot of these our younger little bros still haven't hit them yet. They still living in a teenage world. Well, a lot of our adults is easily late 20s, early 30s, but their mindset is still 14, 15 years old. We gotta do better. We gotta do better. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. How true is this saying? How true is this saying? Men save money by being single, and women save money by being in relationships.
It's 100% facts. It's 100% facts. You know what I'm saying? Because every scenario, every encounter you have with a woman, it's already embedded that you gotta pay first. Off rip. You know what I'm saying? So it's like already like you already got paid. So it's like now it's like how much you gonna pay based upon what you trying to do with the girl you trying to meet. So majority of the time, if you single, that $200 bill is damn near $80 now,
Mm-hmm.
$60.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it's not on your dime, people feel the need that they could just go overboard. But when it's on their dime, they're not eating that same way that they would normally order if it was on somebody else's dime.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it's a very true statement. Like men stay single, men stay keep their money by staying single, and women stay keeping their money by being in a relationship. Because the first topic we had was the Toya hiding $1 million. Why would you hide $1 million? Because you don't want to spend your money. You don't want to be inconvenienced by spending your bread. You rather be on some Debo shit and spend Red's money.
And his name is Red. His name
Like,
Fred, bro.
and the half the time, you like majority of niggas fall for this shit. So when niggas stop falling for it, y'all don't got no other game y'all could play. It's just niggas be falling for the game and like they be having a certain type of feeling like, maybe she's not like that. They be holding on to that, like maybe she's not like that until they see like, damn, she is. All right, well, I'm gonna just fall back now.
Mm-hmm.
So when men stop doing all of that, y'all ain't got nothing else to fall back on. You ain't got nothing else. Y'all gonna start taking yourselves out. The dating scene is horrible. The club scene is horrible because men ain't going to the clubs. Men ain't going to strip clubs no more. Y'all got all this independence and all this money, but yet and still, you still need niggas to be there to go to the club and pop bottles. Where's y'all bread at?
Mm-hmm.
Pop your own bottles. Go to the strip club, throw them dollars up. Y'all got the bread, right? Y'all all about women empowerment, right? So go empower them women and throw them dollars up. It's not fun when it's your bread.
What song was that? What song was that? Where the dollars at? Where the dollars at? Where the dollars at? Where the dollars at?
Right. Throw them throw them George Washingtons up. You know what I'm
saying? Facts. You know what I mean?
Throw your ones up. Y'all got the money, right? Y'all got all these businesses. Y'all got all these degrees, right? So go ahead. Go to the strip club. Throw the money up.
Throw all your nail tech money in the air.
All that. Throw all your hair, your front, your lace front money, your glue money. You know what I'm saying? All that bread. Throw that up. And then still go pay for your lace front and all that. Welcome to a man's world.
And then pay some
niggas budget for y'all. That's what we do. We budget for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So when we don't got a budget for y'all, niggas got a whole bunch of shit to do. Watch. Mm-hmm. So go ahead, go to the club, throw them dollars up, see how fun it is.
You know, it's something that I noticed, right? So anytime I'm dating someone, every time I'm dating someone, and they come around me and they bought food, for themselves, it's always something small, right? So it's been, plethora of women that I've dated throughout the years. And let's say they, stopping by to see me and like, oh, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just snacking on a little meal. And it'll be like a little 4-piece nugget. Like, so 4-piece of nuggets from McDonald's going to fill you up. Okay, heard you. But now when we go out, you know what I'm saying? They don't get crazy with me though. But at the same time, they going to order more than a 4-piece nugget, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny that you say that because obviously I would spend more when I'm in a relationship opposed to when I'm not. Just because I see a woman, that don't mean I'm in a relationship with her. But all men understand that when you have a woman around you, you're going to spend money. You're going to spend money. Simple and plain. Not because you're like necessarily obligated to do it. It's just like, you're gonna step. You're gonna step. When y'all go out, you take care of the meal. You take care of it. It's no big deal over here. It's nothing. But that's what you're going to get. Doesn't mean I can't do it for myself. But at the end of the day, like, either way that it goes, I already have that understanding of what it's going to be. And it makes it that much easier for me to step off when I want to step off. So it's very interesting that you made that point because it's very true. Looking at the budgeting. Like, I go back to this old scene. It's very old at this point. And I love old things, y'all. I'm big on nostalgia. So there's an old episode of the Cosbys with Dr. Huxtable is breaking down the value of money to Theo. Theo like, yo, won't you just accept me as your son? I want to be a regular dude. I want to make regular money and I'm going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? Just because I get F's, that don't mean I'm not going to be successful. So they played the little money monopoly game or whatever. And then he was like, yo, so, you're going to have a crib, right? Because you ain't going to be living here. And the crib going to be this amount. So he takes some money. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, you like to dress, right? You like to get jiggy with it, right? Yeah. He was like, yo, it costs this money. He was like, I'm going to give you some extra because I like to look good. He had $200. And he's like, see, I got $200 left and I'm good, baby. He like, yo, there's a problem. You haven't ate yet. You know what I'm saying? Took some more money. He was like, I could get by on bologna and tuna fish. Still got $200. Pop said, plan to have a girlfriend. You know it.
Took the whole 200. The whole 200 gone.
Gone. And it just happened like that. You know what I'm saying? When you go out, when y'all Netflix and chill, y'all just doing random stuff. She want to go here, she want to go there. Most things that women want to do requires money. Most things that men want to do requires sex. We trying to get it popping or shut the hell up. Women want to have experiences on your dime. So at the end of the day, I rock with this statement as well. Again, the saying was, is it true? If how true is the statement saying that men save money by being single and women save money by being in relationships? So I agree, it's absolutely true. They agreeing in the chat as well too. All right, next hot topic: Stephon Marbury in the NBA. Great, Stephon Marbury, my favorite player ever in the NBA, is reviving the Starberry sneaker brand. What do you think about that?
I guess should revive it. Why not? Bring that shit back. It's a perfect time to bring it back. Before the climate wasn't ready for that, niggas thought it was gimmicky and all this other shit. But the time is now. $15, $20 shoe at this stage in the game, you definitely will kill. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the time frame when you brought it out back then, but the time is now. You could bring it back out and make even more money. So yeah, bring that shit back out, son.
Mm-hmm. I'm all for it too. Again, Stephon Marbury is my favorite NBA player of all time, and I think the shoe that he brought out previously, it went megaton because of the pricing, because of the impact that it had to those local communities that was, that just didn't have the funds to buy Jordans and the top tier Nike brands. So you bring a brand out like this, which is a quality sneaker. It didn't look great. That's what the only knock on the sneaker is, that it wasn't sexy. It didn't look good, but it was a quality sneaker, a very quality sneaker. It was the same companies or same factories that make Nikes and Jordan brand. So at the end of the day, I'm all for this. I would the only thing I suggest, Steph, just make these joints a little fly, make these joints look a little snazzy. People still gonna buy it, but I think it will go to a whole nother level if they look good. Mind you, Stephon Marbury is popping in several countries, bro. He gonna kill in China, he gonna kill in the US. So I think this is a great idea. I just want him to snazz up the look of the shoe, me personally. Shout out to Rowan Jack, man. He just gifted y'all some memberships. Some thank yous are in order. So thank that, man. There's about four y'all that got gifted some memberships. So again, five of y'all that got gifted some memberships. So again, thank you, Rowan Jack, for supporting the show. One of our day ones, one of our badge holders that show major love to the pod, man. We appreciate you as always, sincerely. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. The Sweet 16 is set. March Madness, a wild weekend. So for the Sweet 16, we got Arkansas versus Texas Tech. We have BYU versus Alabama. We have Maryland versus Florida. There's a game still left to be determined, so I'm sorry about that. So there's Duke, and there's another team that still needs to be determined. You have Purdue versus Houston. You have Michigan, my Michigan Wolverines, go blue, versus Auburn. Kentucky versus Tennessee. Ole Miss, and they still have a game to be determined. What do you think of those teams so far?
I love the fact Duke is probably like the only blue chip school still up there. I love hearing about BYU, all these other schools that don't normally be mentioned when it
Mhm.
comes to March Madness. I just love that these schools coming up. It just showcases the ever changing climate of basketball. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Like you could have the best recruiting class and go into March Madness, and you could be the top tier school, and that don't mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
School like school like John Madison come out of nowhere and you get swept.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's just that's the beauty and the love about March Madness. It's never you can never tell. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
so Matt, just seeing Duke still out there, still there, and that's one of the few blue chip schools like that. Lets you know that competition is just all over the place now. These kids are not going to Kansas, and they're not going to all the tops. They're going all over. So
Mhm.
competition is all over the place. So that's good.
I mean, well, there's a few blue bloods. There's a few blue bloods because I know in the rewatch they're gonna go hammies. So shout out to my Michigan. Shout out to Tennessee. Shout out to Kentucky. Those are also blue bloods as well with Duke as well. Shout out to Florida. Florida has won several championships over the years as well. Um, I like this though. You know why you're seeing a lot of these schools in these positions that we kind of grew up to, some of these same schools have been in Michigan State. They would have killed me for that if I didn't mention Michigan State. Tom Izzo has done an amazing job in his career at Michigan State. Um, but the scope of how college basketball has changed. So now all of these top tier schools, they're no longer recruiting high school kids unless that kid is a 5-star guy who could, or blue chip guy that could come in immediately right away and start. If he's not that, then these kids have to go JUCO route or they have to go mid major. Because a lot of the top tier JUCO kids are now getting the scholarships over the kids that would normally get them from high school, unless they're, you know, must have players. So, but the majority of these players, a majority of these teams now, the average age is about 22, 23 because of, the transfer game. Somebody was really good at a mid major last year, they transferred to Kentucky. Somebody was really good at Butler or Davidson, now they transferred to, Michigan. Now that uh what's the is a legendary coach that came to Rick Pitino. He's at St. John's. I didn't even know he was at St. John's. And St. John's is popping. They had a good year. They lost in this previous round, but they had a good year. So I expect St. John's to now be in the running every year, like how they used to be. So it feels like the blue bloods is really coming back, opposed to the mid-major schools, because now the recruiting process has changed. Now, and it's crazy. BYU is in the Sweet 16. We just covered this past year that they just got the number one recruit of last year's high school basketball, and he went there because of that bag, that NIL bag. So BYU going to really be on the uptick moving forward. So I mean, I love this. Um, I think you're going to see more of the blue bloods in schools that we could easily recognize really be in position because of this type of Sweet 16. Outside of BYU and basketball, all of these schools they have cachet. You talk about Texas Tech, Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, Purdue, Houston, Ole Miss, Michigan State, Michigan, Auburn. These schools have cachet. Florida, Maryland. These schools have cachet. Alabama. Alabama's known for football. They in this for basketball. So these schools are easily recognized, and I think we're going to continue to see that uptick moving forward with basketball. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. There's some games that they're still waiting to finish out. So it's going to be a fun Sweet 16 moving forward. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Uh, this segment is brought to you by Bravo Section. Make sure you go to bigbravosection.com. Again, bigbravosection.com. You can book a session with one of the best photographers in the world, especially if you're in the Miami area. If you're not in the Miami area, you can still book that session. Fly.
Oh, my boy froze. No. There you go.
You good, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, you can buy dope photography, and again, you can book a session. So make sure y'all tap into bigbravosection.com. You got a petty thought for us? Petty word, petty law?
All right, chat. This section is section is based on words that I picked from the Black's Law Dictionary. So it's very random words that I pick. So first word on the list. Okay, chat. This is a word that's a legal word in the Black's Law Dictionary. It's a legal word. All right. First word. Again, it's a legal word. I must stress that enough. Faggot. A badge worn in early times by persons who had recanted and abjured what was then abjured by abjured to be heresy, as an emblem of what they had merited. Meaning that back then, if you were caught in heresy, you had to wear a badge that says that you were caught in heresy. So back then, people did shaming tactics. We need to bring shame back. You do some goofy shit, you get shamed. So if you know you're gonna get shamed, you're not gonna do the action where you might get shamed. So again, this is a legal word. I did not pick this up out of nowhere. It's a legal
Just,
word from the dictionary. All right.
just, just say the F word for YouTube policy and guidelines, even though it's a legal word.
This is a legal word in the dictionary. You're gonna bash me for a legal word in the dictionary? That's crazy. Next word on the list is failure to testify. In a criminal trial, defendant is not required to testify, and such failure may not be commented by commented on by a judge or prosecution because of the protection of the Fifth Amendment. So, if you are in a criminal trial, your failure to testify is not a knock against you. You could plead the Fifth and go about your way.
Mm-hmm.
Next word on the list is Indian country, a part of public domain set apart for use, occupancy, and protection of Indian peoples. The audacity that you got to protect something that was already somebody's that you stole from them in the first place. Crazy. And last word is Indian lands. Real property ceded to the U.S. by Indians, commonly to be held in trust for Indians. That's hilarious. Let me read that again. Real property ceded to the U.S., meaning that they took it from the Indians, but then they hold it for the Indians so they can use it, but they're gonna hold it in a trust for them. America. You know what I'm saying? So the words on this list are faggot, failure to
F,
testify, Indian
F word.
country, and Indian lands.
Yeah, we gotta say F word, bro. We're gonna get flagged. I don't want to go through that. All right, we gotta say F word, even though it's a legal word. I don't want to go through it with YouTube again. All right. Dope words, very informative. We need words like that. So make sure again, y'all send my bro some words so that way we can look them up. All right, all right. Moving on to our next segment, our Keep the Lie Live segment.
Keep the lie alive.
Keep the Lie Live. So my Keep the Lie Live for this episode in 2025, I'm seeing it every day. And my people, y'all gotta fight. Y'all got to fight. You have to fight to avoid the crash out. We see people crash out daily, every moment, because there's a lack of comprehension in our culture and in the world right now. We don't comprehend when we hear things to the point where we go off. We don't comprehend when we hear things that's necessarily needed in situations, in various situations. People going off by feelings, and you can't operate like that. It's detrimental, regardless of your upbringing. We're at a place in time where we can't use upbringing, we can't use behavior as a necessary excuse to say why we did it and we deserve grace. We have to comprehend and be able to move on the move, avoid the crash out, because if you crash out, you're going to get belt to ass. That's the society we live in. People have no problems in pulling the plug. So avoid the crash out. It's not worth it because you're going to be sitting there later on saying, I should have made a better decision. You're going to be sitting there later on saying, I would have made a better decision if I was able to comprehend what was going on in the moment. We see it every day. You look at TikTok, TikTok is an agent of crashing out. Instagram is an agent of crashing out. Half the topics we spoke on tonight is about crashing out. Avoid the crash out. It will change your life if you avoid the crash out. It will extend your life if you avoid the crash out. Choosing the right people around you, you could avoid the crash out. Learn how to comprehend, especially in the moment. Because if you don't, it will have dire consequences. That's my Keep the Lie Alive for this episode. Anything you want to add to that?
It's a whole bunch of examples out here. Like, there should be no reason why y'all crashing out. If y'all crash out, that's on y'all. You know what I'm saying? There's too many examples, too many books, too many songs, too many movies that you could pick from where you see the end result of a crash out. So now you crash out, that's on you. Nobody gonna come to your aid. You know what I'm saying? Especially on the crashing. So if you want to be on somebody's t-shirt the next day, go ahead.
So avoid the crash out, y'all. Man, I want to thank y'all for tapping in. As always, every Thursday, every Sunday at 10:30 for rocking out with us. Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast? So again, thank y'all. We on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We just went over 11,000 subs. Again, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend. Like, subscribe, share, hit that all notification bell. You just never know when I'm going to pop up on this channel. Also, hit them likes and 100s in the chat. Them likes and 100s, them hearts and 100s, I should say. Also, I want to thank some of the sponsors of the show: Bravo Section, Blunt and Snaps, and OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit me up on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild, or you can hit my bro on his Instagram at
Bravo Section _
So if you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit us up. Even if you want to come through and show some love, we would appreciate it. As always, you know what we say, love is love at the end of the day. Also, make sure you tap into the Overstand podcast every Monday at 9:30. Why understand where you can overstand every Monday at 9:30 on this channel. Also, I feel like I'm missing something else. Working on a brand new project, so make sure y'all tap in. But in the mean between time, make sure you tap into the music. Ashley Lovechild on all music platforms. Anywhere where you listen to your music, type in Ashley Lovechild. And I got fire music, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Not to brag, but I got fire music. I got that heat, so tap in. I know my bro got his site he want to shoot out.
Tap into BigBravoSection.com.
Make sure y'all tap in. Again, we're on every Thursday, every Sunday at 10:30. So make sure y'all continue to tap in, show love, watch those rewatches, hit those rewatches. We got over 300 rewatches for this channel. There's probably a rewatch that just dropped. So make sure y'all tap in and we appreciate the support. Your support helps the show grow in the algorithm. So again, thank y'all for y'all support. We appreciate it as always. Again, hit those like buttons. Tap into the membership portion of this page. We got different memberships, different access. And again, thank y'all for showing love. We'll see y'all next time. Again, this Thursday at 10:30. And you know what time it is? It's love. And we out of here.